The woman was still a virgin yet kept giving birth to one child after another. Even stranger, each time she delivered there was only blood but no baby. But she could clearly feel 3 babies inside her. Not until she heard a maid say the consort had given birth to 3 princes did she realize her stepsister was giving birth too. A palace maid told her the consort never showed during pregnancy, and her figure stayed like that of an 18-year-old, which had the emperor utterly enchanted. Yet despite all that favor, the consort kept her locked away. The next moment the consort appeared holding a baby and ordered the maid who went to get a doctor beaten to death. She told the woman calling a doctor was useless. For 10 months the woman had endured all the nausea and ugliness for her. Angry, the woman wanted to report everything to the emperor, but the consort did not panic at all. She placed the red-haired, blue-eyed baby into the woman's arms, then accused her before the emperor of sleeping with a foreign man and giving birth to a monster. Even though the woman showed the virgin mark and insisted she was untouched and the child was not hers, the emperor, fooled by the consort, still ordered her execution. When she opened her eyes again, she found herself back 1 year earlier on the day she and her stepsister entered the palace. Her parents, just like in her previous life, told her to take care of her stepsister because she was easily fertile. In truth, they only wanted her to take the blame for her stepsister. Reborn, the woman refused to be controlled again and said she would not enter the palace. Her parents and stepsister immediately panicked. Her stepmother's sudden kindness and her father's guilty look made her realize they were all the ones who caused her death. They were so desperate to send her into the palace that the womb-borrowing spell must have been cast back then. She could not change what had already happened, but she would decide her own fate from now on, so she agreed to enter the palace with her stepsister. As soon as she reached her quarters, she had her maid buy 99 bottles of the secret remedy and swallowed them all, because she naively believed that if she could not get pregnant, her stepsister would lose the chance to use her womb. But that was not enough. She also wanted revenge for her past self, so she had the palace maid spread rumors that her stepsister was blessed and would never lose her figure even when pregnant. Her stepsister quickly became the target of all the concubines, yet unaware she even bragged after gaining favor once that she could give the emperor 8 children. The woman waited for her to bring ruin on herself, but 3 months later the woman suddenly began vomiting from pregnancy. At the same time, a maid told her her stepsister was pregnant and the emperor happily made her a consort. When the woman returned to her quarters, she found her stepsister waiting holding the secret remedy she had bought. Seeing she was not behaving, the stepsister picked up a chicken leg and sniffed it, and the woman immediately threw up. Everything from her stepsister's pregnancy, from reactions to pain, had transferred to her. Her stepsister then pinched her own belly, causing the woman's stomach to hurt so badly she could not stand. Seeing this, the stepsister said with meaning that women were doomed to suffer, and that the woman was destined to be trampled under her feet. Furious, the woman swung at her scheming stepsister, but instead of getting angry, the stepsister stabbed her own belly. Blood poured from the woman's abdomen and she collapsed in agony. The commotion drew the emperor, who had come to visit the stepsister. She suddenly changed from arrogant to pitiful and accused the woman of bullying her out of jealousy. The emperor grew furious, slapped the woman, and wanted her dead. Her stepsister pretended to plead for her, saying she was her own sister, begging the emperor to spare her life. For the sake of the child, he chose not to kill her but demoted her and ordered her into the cold palace. But the stepsister claimed the cold palace was too far and she would sometimes miss the woman, so she suggested the woman stay in the same palace instead. The woman felt something was off since her stepsister never wished her well, so why plead for her now? But the emperor, touched by her kindness, agreed and confined the woman to her quarters. Thinking her stepsister was already pregnant, the woman wondered if she could strike back, so she ordered her maid to tamper with her stepsister's tea. But nothing happened to the stepsister while the woman's stomach kept hurting. 7 months later, the woman's belly grew huge and her body became frighteningly thin. Yet her stepsister stayed graceful and even played around freely during pregnancy. Each time she did, the woman's belly hurt sharply. Half a month later, the emperor left the palace and the woman thought she could finally rest, but the pain still came. Then she remembered that in her last life her stepsister had given birth to a foreign-looking baby with red hair and blue eyes. So she bribed an eunuch and went to her stepsister's quarters. With every step the pain worsened. Through the window she saw her stepsister playing with 5 guards, but the eunuch came to call them back and the woman had no choice but to return. Halfway back she suddenly remembered her stepmother saying she arranged both their living quarters together, and how her stepsister insisted she not be sent to the cold palace. All these odd details came together and the truth finally clicked for the woman.